Good morning, Cowboy Jim. Have to work on this. Should be planning a little better. Get my microphone a little tiny bit closer. Set my glasses on my Bible. All right, I think we're ready. We'll find out when I watch this. I'll tell you. Okay, just finished a set that's 7 12-hour shifts, 7 of them. And I'm kind of glad they're done. And last time, I did one set at 7 days. And they told me, hey, you want to come in and run I said, yeah. And so I did my 7 12-hour shifts. Then I did 5 12-hour shifts on a hoe. Oh, children, is it ever easy to do a 12-hour shift on a hoe? Unbelievable. It is truly unbelievable. It's like at the end of the day that you've just started. When I run truck, at the end of the day, my knees are so wobbly climbing down from the truck, and all that sort of stuff, because I'm beat. But anyways, after I did my 5 days of overtime, I took 2 days off to recuperate, and then I went back and did another 7 12s. Anyways, that's cool. I sat down here to do a remake of the German Mayor, and I should, because no one hardly ever watched it, and moreover, it was my supervisor's son is 11 years of age, and he's been watching my stuff. And I thought it would behoove me to honor God in such a manner that it could be said that I was attentive to the idea that perhaps a younger person might watch. I, so I'm just going to remake some of those. But anyways, I may forego the German mayor in that I think I'm already into this about 3.5 minutes. Anyways, I sat atop a perch and I pounded dirt, eh? I mean, I pounded dirt in the back end of some little tiny toy trucks. They're actually wiggle wagons. And I built tailgates. And the reason you do that is because those little toy trucks were pulling out from me and going down and receiving a load of mud from a long stick hoe. You may not be familiar with that, but that is a hoe that is fully, the boom and the stick probably are 3 times as long as a regular one so that they can reach out. I'm going to guess, because I've never had the privilege and the honor of running one of those things, about, oh, uh, I don't know, 40 feet, maybe more, and scrape along the bottom of a settling pond and pull all the dirt and the mud, not dirt, oh gee, it's mud, and putting it in the back of the little toy trucks that I'd done my tailgates on. Oh, pray to God, when you're building a tailgate that you build it and you don't use too much dirt, because then there's no room for the mud. If you don't use enough dirt, the mud's going to break through and come right out, and the humiliation of having a load of mud on the blessed road on a ramp, and so you have to be pretty careful. and I am pretty careful. On a hoe, I am real careful. I'm always careful. That was a real poor choice of words. But anyways, that's done. Whoa. And I sat in my little tiny hoe building tailgates, and I had so much fun. I only had to build 6 tailgates an hour, which left me with plenty of time. And I I make use of my time. I on a hoe, I don't want to stop. Like I really don't. I just keep playing around with the hoe and throwing a rock down there. Perch is about 12 feet higher than 10, 12 feet higher than the ground on which the little trucks back up to your bucket and let you build your stuff. And I won't ever tell a truck driver how to drive their truck because to me it's kind of impolite. And sometimes people, oh, I am not very good running a little wiggle wagon. Hmm? Not good at all. Because it's kind of like a team of horses and a hay wagon, which I have some experience with from being a kid. Because when I was 5 years old, that's what my cousin who didn't like me, he is a big man, he didn't like me at all, and so he is real hard on me, and he died, and I'm oh, I felt real bad. Thankfully, I'm an actor by my nature. Anyways, I did feel bad. I never knew why people, adults, were so blessed mean to kids. I remember on a Sunday afternoon, he was taking his wife, who was my cousin. He incidentally really wasn't. He just married into my family, and his son and his daughter, and they were going back to Wasaga Beach from my aunt Sadie's farm, and I asked him. I said, would could would you allow me to? Could I get a lift home?" And he looked at me and he said, "No, you are too dirty." And I thought, "Well, I'm not clean," but I was 8 years old. Dirty, dirty. It stuck with me. Well, it probably is still sticking with me because I wouldn't have mentioned it otherwise. But, anyways, let's move on. When I had the privilege and the honor of running a 349 hoe, cat hoe, building tailgates, and I had fun. So, between stupid little toy trucks, I would play with. If a rock fell down, rolled out there about 10, 12 feet, down about 10, 12 feet, I would smile. And I would just make sure there's no traffic coming. I'd just reach my little toy bucket out there. And I cleaned the area up around where I was sitting on the hoe up on the perch when it was clean. And if it weren't clean, if it were clean, I'd throw some dirt down there and clean that up. And I practice. Anyways, well, so my little tiny company that I'm working for are sending half the crew south, a half an hour south. You may not realize, but that half hour south is going to give me a half hour longer to sleep in the morning, and I'll be able to get home half an hour earlier. Well, when I get up in the morning, it's 20 minutes to 5. And when I walk in the door at night, it's 9:05. I try to sleep on the bus. I finally started to learn how to do that, and when it's going to be better. And at this new mine, same mining company, but our little crew, uh, I am going to work the winter, so I'm told, scratching boxes with a hoe, with a hoe. Whoa! Unfortunately, that mine works on a 14 and 7 rotation. That means you do 7 12-hour day shifts and 7 12-hour night shifts, and then you have 7 off. But you make more money when you work longer. People, I hear them complain at work, and they say, "Oh, I know I'm making enough money," and I thought, no, you're probably making enough money, but you're spending more than you should. And people don't understand that, eh? Uh, if you're if you figure you need something, well, go work for it. Save the money, and then buy the junk. And problem with that is end up, if you live that way, you end up with no blessed credit rating at all. And then perhaps if I were to find a little tiny ranch somewhere, quarter of land in the bush or in the foothills, if I could afford it, I'd be buying it. I'd live in a tent. I have done that. I want you to know living in a tent is a whole lot better than living in your truck, which I've done that too. Short, tiny portion of the story. And then we'll move on because I haven't said anything yet, except I must tell you, it's about 22 minutes to 7 in the morning. I lived in a tent at North Fork Road. Well, I'd slept in my truck for about 3 weeks, just trying to save the ranch, eh? Oh, well, what a waste of time that was. And but anyways, my sons, Big Scott, Big Joe, I had texted them, and on that job we worked until it rained, eh? And it didn't rain that much, and so I asked my boys. I said, "Could you bring me out an outfitter's tent, eh?" And and so I was on the 715 or 815, could be an 815 Packer with a sheep foot, big metal drum, and I was pounding dirt, and they drove up. I told them, where to put the tent, and they did. And so I went back. Oh, they were my boys. They love me. I'm not sure why, but nonetheless, they set my tent up, and I had my sleeping bag in the back seat because I just couldn't. Even in the back seat, I couldn't stretch across, and so end up in a fetal position all night in a stupid sleeping bag, trying to get by on eating a can of tuna a day, or almost. Well, no, I ate a can of tuna, and drank two pots of coffee a day for 6 weeks, I think. And then I realized one day, I thought, I am living a sacrificial life while those who live in my house that I had built don't work and eat better than I did. Anyways, no, you can't get bitter. Well, you can. That's the problem. One night, uh, I we were in grizzly country. Okay, I mean it's simple, and I thought I don't want the grizzly to come through the side wall of my tent. I had my little sawed-off shotgun, slugs, a flashlight right handy. I thought, you come to the old cowboy, you may not be going anywhere else. And game warden said, Jim, he said, you shoot a grizzly, you better have tooth marks on your horse. That's Irish. He said, because otherwise you're in real trouble. I thought, kind of hard to get tooth marks in your rear end when you don't run much. Anyways, one night at about 2, 3 in the morning, I'd opened both doors on the tent, and I had put a table right in front of the doors. The front end of the tent was wide open, thus the grizzly had no point and no need to come through the side wall of the tent, which would surprise you a little bit. But anyways, being a thinking person, someone, Irish, okay, so certain parameters, just, you're with me. Anyways, I put a folding table in front of the door, and you kind of had to squeeze around either side. This is about an 8 foot table, and I jammed some stuff inside, so on, so that something coming through the door, if it were shorter than the height of the table, well, then I'd be in trouble. But I put a bunch of pots on there, and I put some cans on there. One night at about 2, 3 in the morning, something came in and knocked everything off the top of the table, and it scared that big critter. I hope it was a critter. I'm sure it was a critter. And it left before I could get the flashlight gathered up and get shooting. Anyways, so didn't say much today, but I want you to know something. Hey, I can't say, I can't, I mentioned that I'm Irish. So, hey, let's not set the benchmark too high and say, thank you so much for watching my stuff. Thank you for the privilege and the honor. Do you know? Do you know? I'm getting about 50 to 75 views a day. Well, the subject content is pretty, shall we say, niche market type thing. But I thank you for watching my stuff. I'm telling you, thank you. God bless you. God bless you. Hey, it's about 20 minutes or so to 6:45. I've already done my dishes. It's kind of a good thing because I haven't done dishes in 7 days. Thankfully, I have enough dishes. Okay, God bless. God bless you.